Dublin's F104. It is the Strawberry Alarm Clock, and we are Zooming with Perrie Edwards. Good morning, Perrie.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you? I'm loving the background, by the way.
Yeah, Jim, is that the Northern Lights you have gone on there?
Yeah, my son did that for his Zoom call with his class, and I can't turn it off.
It's so cool.
We thought you were trying to be all cool, yeah?
No.
It is cool.
It is cool. I think I'll leave it, though.
I like it.
I like your mirror, Perrie.
You like my what? Mirror?
Yeah, it's lovely. Yeah.
Thanks. It would be nice if it wasn't bombarded by a PlayStation.
What's your favourite game?
Not my favourite game. Sod that. It's my boyfriend's.
What's he always playing?
He's always playing F1 or COD.
Right.
Yeah.
Two good choices. Two popular choices.
They are good choices. So you join us on the day that we are talking about FM 104's Mind Your Noggin Day, a day that is doing as much as we can to raise money for Jigsaw, which is a charity that specifically deals with young people and their mental health. I suppose it's an honour to talk to people who are very open to talking about such a sensitive issue and an issue that with days like today we're hoping won't feel as sensitive anymore.
Mm-hmm.
One thing that is massive for Jigsaw is the fact that they can do online the many different ways you can speak to somebody. And is that something that you can relate to in terms of it's not all, everyone has different ways in which they like to communicate or comfortable communicating with.
Mm-hmm.
So I suppose what in your experience was the best way to just kind of be able to go, okay, right, I need to chat about this?
I think obviously everybody's different. I think at first for me, I didn't want to talk about it because it was like the monster in the room. It was like terrifying to me to talk about it. Like if I spoke about it, the monster would come out, if that makes sense. So I was so scared to even flag it to anyone at first because I actually thought it was just really, really mentally draining. It was scary. And nobody in my family had gone through it before. So I thought it was happening to me for the first time ever. I thought I was the first person ever experiencing like panic attacks, which felt like heart attacks. And I thought, oh my God, I'm surviving heart attacks. Like I need to ring my doctor and tell them like I'm having heart attacks. And then obviously, once I got talking about it with my doctor and things like that, and my mum, we obviously discovered that I had bad anxiety, which I've never had before in the past. I think it kind of comes with the industry. I think a lot of it has affected me mentally, which I would never have kind of said before because I would have been embarrassed to say that. But I think it's because there's always a stigma attached to mental health where people think it's embarrassing to talk about. But the more you talk about it, the better it makes you feel, I've noticed. So I had therapy, I speak to people, and the Speakmans have been incredible. I went to see them. They're like the loveliest pair ever. They were incredible. They kind of helped me through a lot of stuff. But yeah, it's just taking it day by day and finding your own coping mechanisms and finding what helps for you. But definitely talking about it was one of my main things that helped me the most.
It's good that you say that the more you talk about it, the better it makes you feel, because that's kind of what today is all about here on the station. And, you know, hats off to you and your other bandmates in Little Mix for showing your fans that it's quite normal that everybody, even though you're successful and, you know, talented and you seem to have everything that everyone could ever want, and how could you possibly be, you know, have anxiety or have panic attacks? The fact that you're getting that message out to your fans is really important. So
yeah, of course. It is really important to us. I think, like what you said, people don't think everybody can get anxiety, but everybody can get it. Like, it doesn't matter who you are, what you do. I think obviously being in the public eye didn't help. But yeah, I think it can trigger in anyone. So it's just definitely good to speak to people. And it's quite common in a lot of young people now as well. So yeah, it's quite sad, but it's just one of those things that it happens, you know.
What do people say to you as fans? I'm sure, you know, you've absolutely opened doors and made it feel a bit more, you know, normal for people to be comfortable talking such private stuff and feelings. What do people say to you after they've seen that someone like you with, you know, this big, massive profile, one with, you know, so much success on one hand can struggle, and two, that you maybe made it a bit easier for them to talk about it?
Yeah, I think that's what people mainly say. They mainly say that, first of all, like, thank you for talking about your struggles with anxiety, because now I feel like I can talk about mine. I think they feel more normal. I think I would never, ever, ever wish anxiety on anyone. Like, obviously it's horrible, but when you find out somebody's gone through the same thing as you automatically feel better. It's like a breath of fresh air when you know somebody's gone through the same things, the same emotions, and it makes you feel less secluded and alone. So the more I would like discover people with anxiety, I talk to them about their experiences, and like I've reached out to quite a lot of people, and it just makes me feel less weird, I guess. So for me to come out to like the fans and say I've got bad anxiety and I get panic attacks, like that made them all feel a little bit more normal, because I'm this big pop star who's got everything and the world should be hunky-dory, but it's not. It's something mentally that happens to someone. You can't help that. Just because I have a lovely lifestyle and I'm very grateful for my career and I love performing and I have a lovely house and I can look after my family, that doesn't stop something from mentally triggering in my head to make me feel a certain way. So it's like the struggles with mental illness is that if you have a broken leg, if you get an injury, nobody's going to force you to walk on the leg. Nobody's going to force you to go out and go back to work and do your thing if you can't. Whereas because it's a mental illness and you can't see it, people don't often have as much sympathy for it, if that makes sense, which is frustrating. But I think the more people talk about it, the better it'll be, the more normal it'll become, and everybody can just kind of help each other through it.
Absolutely.
Something that your fans will identify with is something that Little Mix have in general have been sort of good at calling out trolling and stuff like that. So a lot of your fans, when they get home from school or college, whatever it is, and they're getting messages saying about their appearance or anything like that, is that something that did you have to deal with on a daily basis? Do you get a thicker skin over time being in the public eye? Or what advice would you give, fans who are really struggling with some of the horrible things people say online?
It's really hard. I feel like me and the girls were really lucky because back in the day, social media wasn't so big. So we kind of were just running through life innocently. You come home from school, you switch off. You don't have to talk to your friends online. You don't have to see like these comments and these hurtful things that people are saying. So that's why when we first plunged into the industry, it was like we kind of jumped in the deep end, I suppose, because that's when social media was coming around. But like people just love to criticize and love to hate. And that's the thing, like we all get it. Like us four girls, we haven't done anything mean to anyone. We haven't been hurtful towards people, but they still want to have an opinion on us. And I think people need to just understand that people, when they're unhappy with their own lives, they kind of push that negativity onto other people. And I know it's hard to ignore it because it's there and kids read it and they get upset about it because that's normal. If people are saying horrible, hurtful things about you and they're being mean, your reaction is going to be upset about it. But I think you just have to keep reminding yourself these people are not nice people anyway. If they've got something horrible to say, then they're just genuinely not good people. So just try and ignore it and surround yourself with positive people.
Yes.
Nice. Well, that's what we always try and push on our show. For people who want to help, but they don't know what the right words are. They don't know how do you say, Perrie, how you feeling today? Or they don't want to maybe bring it up because you are feeling okay and they're afraid they're going to bring you into a place where you're now not having a good day. What's your advice to them to sort of be the person who is a true friend but just doesn't know how to say it?
I mean, it is hard. I think even like me talking about it, I never know if I should say certain things. I get worried that I might say something that will trigger somebody else. But I think just being there for someone, I think just knowing that you have somebody there to talk to when you need them. Like my mom won't always be like, oh, how's your anxiety today? She'll just kind of sit there and be ready for me to say, look, I'm having a hard time. My anxiety is really like off the scale today. And I think just knowing that you have somebody you can put your trust in just makes you feel better anyway. So like going back to the talking about it situation, like as soon as you talk to somebody, it's like it's just lifting off because you don't feel so heavy and alone and taking it all on yourself. So it's very, very important to talk to people. That's like the best thing that I think lifts my stress when I'm having anxiety.
I think what we're going through as well at the moment, I've said quite a few times to people, even if you have pretty robust mental health, if you don't say you're not worried about an elder relative or your job or the future, or in our case in Ireland, like and I'm sure in the UK as well, the exams for before you go into third level have all been postponed and changed. It's, as I said, even if you normally are fine, whatever fine is, this is going to at least give you a bit of anxiety. And I think everyone will probably experience maybe what it feels like, not perhaps on the level that other people really struggle with, but that feeling of, I think, everything just closing in on top of you, and you can't, you don't know where to start with something, whether it's work, whether it's bills. It could, maybe these things even sound selfish, like that you might have been going traveling for 2 months this summer when you're finished college or whatever. Now you can't, but it's okay to go, I'm really annoyed that I can't go traveling. Even that's causing me.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. I think this situation obviously is just horrendous for everybody. Like you said, like people who have never experienced anxiety before will be experiencing weird things, because you do feel a little bit claustrophobic. But I think the thing people need to look at with this situation is it's a world pandemic. Like, it's called a world pandemic for a reason. The whole world's going through it. So when you're going through situations yourself and you feel a bit lonely just in this situation, just know that everybody else in the world is going through the exact same thing. So everybody's feeling claustrophobic right now. Everybody's feeling stressed. Everyone's got things that they need to deal with, like bills and stuff, like you said. And I think just remembering that you're not alone in this situation is the most important thing. Like Barry down the street, Jane down the road, everybody's in it together. Like, it's the same thing around the world. So, and it'll pass. It's not a forever thing. It feels like forever, and it's dragging on a little bit, but it's to keep everybody safe. So we're doing it for a good reason, but it'll pass. It'll be over, and we'll look back on it in years to come and be like, oh my God, remember when that happened? So
what is Perrie doing on a day-to-day basis during the lockdown that you weren't doing before? Have you made banana bread? Have you binged something? Have you got a new hobby?
Oh, I've done so much, to be fair. Like, I like to keep my mind busy, keep myself occupied. So obviously baking is what everybody's doing right now. I've got a new love for baking, which I think I'm really good. I need to get on Bake Off because I'm actually really impressed with myself. So yeah, baking. I've got a new love for fitness, which is weird because if you know me, I do not work out. I hate it. I hate the gym. I don't like anything slightly athletic. But I've been doing yoga and workouts every day, following like tutorials on YouTube. Just keeping myself busy, and just lots of walks with the dogs. Yeah, just fun things. And Money Heist. Oh my God, the best series ever. So good. I recommend.
Okay.
Well, they have the people behind it. White Lines is kicking off from tomorrow, which will be a week all the time this goes on air. Obviously, we're going to be talking to Joe Wicks a bit later on today. Obviously, he's big into the power of exercise to help him in times like these. And does music help you as well? Obviously, in a band, you'd imagine so, but sometimes that reminds you of work. I don't know.
No, music is the best form of therapy, I think. Music makes the world go round. It makes people happy. Like, it's just the best thing ever. So yeah, I constantly have music blasting around the house, and I'm constantly singing all the time, which is like keeps me calm. Yeah, music's the best.
Do Little Mix have a Zoom quiz on Friday nights?
We actually don't, to be fair. I've been doing loads of Zooms with my friends, though. It's been really fun. We take it so serious. We
spoke to Jessie a few weeks ago, but it feels like 3 years ago this stage. I can't remember what stage we were at then.
I don't know what day it is or anything. It's really bizarre.
Yeah. Well, look, I mean, if it needs to be said, take comfort in obviously you're in a good space, and the fact that you will empower so many people, even today listening to this, who may just, this chat could make them go, do you know what, I'm going to actually say something to somebody, because
yeah, I hope so. Yeah.
Talk to somebody. That's the main advice. Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, Perrie, thank you so much for taking the time today. We wish you well. We hope you guys get back. We're loving the new tune. Hope you get back gigging sometime soon and make it over to Ireland, of course, as well.
Yes, the best crowds ever.
And get in on the PlayStation. You might find you like it.
No, I don't want to do that. I don't want to even like it. I don't want to attempt to like it. No.
It doubles up, as Jim can testify, as a great DVD player.
Yeah.
Well, no, right now I just want to burn it, if I'm honest.
You can get your Disney Plus through it. Put it to good
Yeah,
use.
Disney Plus. Oh, it's the best thing ever.
There you go.
Oh, well, thanks, guys.
Thank you very much.
Thanks a
Thanks for
million.
being so open with us.